What is up, party people? It is day one of Monterey Carweek, and I am still in my apartment. It is 5:45, and my flight is at 8:30. So, off to a great start.
All right, I'll be real with you. Day one is pretty uneventful. The recurring theme of this trip is it's insanely busy and jam-packed with events. So we did go to Motorlux, which is the initiation party, but all I was able to film was this insane sandwich shop in San Fran before the road trip to Monterey. So how about we just skip all the way to day two? But please enjoy this size 12 shoe next to my sandwich. Look at the size of this thing.
All right, it is officially day two, and it is my birthday.
Well, this is a crazy way to spend a birthday. Nice little private shoot with the one and only Gambala Marzian. So let me go ahead and run you through the Marc-Philippe Gambala Marzian. This is very 959 Safari-esque inspired vehicle. It's designed actually on a 992 Turbo S as a donor, but the powertrain itself is provided by Roof, so it makes 815 horsepower, completely bespoke suspension. Every corner of the car is taken apart and stripped completely. The full skin of the car is all carbon fiber, hence the 935 mirrors. And then it has fully adjustable suspension that lifts up so you can crawl over things. It's all-wheel drive, as expected, to be able to enjoy it in all sorts of terrain, and the car sounds absolutely insane. The rear end of this car is the most iconic part. During the same photo shoot, we had someone party crash it. His name is Terry. He runs Nardone Automotive. Great guy, an absolute enthusiast for the 928 platform, and that's why he's resto modding them. This isn't your typical resto mod with just light work on the engine. That entire engine is developed by Italtecnica, and look at that interior. Completely bespoke. Every single one is going to be completely custom and made to order. Full carbon skin on the car except for the doors. The doors are the only original panels left on the vehicle, but the vehicle overall has 3,000 new components, including a 6-speed gearbox as opposed to the original 5 speeds. Later that afternoon, I ran into this lovely lady, Edith. She inspired the Dakar. So Edith is this beautiful 992 that was developed to crawl and climb the highest volcano in Chile. Light work, super casual, awesome to see it. And now on to day 3, baby, Quail Day. That is the day that everybody cares about at Monterey besides Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance. And let me tell you, we had some awesome stuff to share. Not only did we unveil the Roof Rodeo, the all-wheel drive carbon tub,
They're all digging holes in the desert.
got ourselves a little bearded dragon to celebrate. So while you see Aloysia with Paprika, let me explain to you what the Rodeo is. It's an all-wheel drive, twin-turbo, 610 horsepower, all-terrain carbon tub vehicle. Yes, carbon tub, carbon skin, weighs about 1,300 kilos, and it sounds like this. Then Singer went ahead and gave us an invite to their house, so they hosted us for a little bit, went to check out some of their cars like their Turbo Study, the DLS Turbo, and this DLS right here. It's crazy how this car looks like a Singer Classic when comparing it to the DLS Turbo. And the cool thing about the new Turbo Study is that it actually sounds like a water-cooled turbo. So after an absolutely insane week of non-stop events and meetings, Monterey Car Week comes to a close today with the beautiful Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance. The Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance is arguably the most important show in the US for the collector car community. People spend years trying to get their cars onto this lawn, and on display they have vehicles dating all the way back to the 1900s. So this year's themes included the wedge-shaped car, which is always fun. Here you had a couple of concept cars on display, including some cool coach builds like the Codeo that you see right there. It's built on an Aventador, and it was done in a Japanese design house. They only made around 50 of these cars, so they're pretty rare to see. Then on top of that, they had a street versus racing variant section of like GT2 era and GT1 era cars, hence the CLK GTR, and it was parked to its GT1 counterpart from Le Mans. And then if that's not enough, they went ahead and put a second CLK GTR race car on the lawn. Moving on to the other wedge-shaped vehicles on display, you had this really beautiful Pininfarina design study that was done with a jet engine in the back. This car, no pun intended, is straight out of the Jetsons. You got that Art Deco design, and look at that beautiful turbine. Next to the car, you had the BMW Turbo concept car that was provided by BMW themselves. You can see a lot of the influence that this car had on the M1. Basically, all of it was influenced into the M1, and it was a horizontally mounted turbo 4-cylinder, which is pretty cool. But here you can see, as I back up from the car, all those little peaks on the rear end, super M1 like. And then you go into the cluster, or into the cabin of the car, and see all those clusters scattered throughout. It's insane. Then, of course, the most wedge car of all wedge cars in the most Italian fashion, the Lamborghini Countach. But this wasn't just any Countach, it was a periscopo. So, what is a periscopo? You see that little indent right there? That is your mirror. So the rear view mirror had a cutout in the roof, like a periscope on a submarine, so you can go ahead and see what's behind you. Not that it matters, because you'll always be in front of it, but check out that beautiful interior as well. It had a little concept car of the design study too on the dash, which is really fun. Here, I'm probably yapping about something, but onwards to the rest of the cars. Right here, you have another wedge-shaped vehicle, the Low-Tech C1000. This was basically a top speed attempt by Mercedes and Low-Tech working together to make this insane piece of engineering history. Basically, what it was a Group C Le Mans car put into a street version. Then I ran into one of my all-time favorite Lamborghinis, one of the only times they did a front engine design, and it is the 350 GT. And my God, this car is absolute perfection. I genuinely was speechless during this video. I didn't make any comments while recording this. This car is one of those cars that just stops you in your tracks. Continuing the theme of the street car versus race car, an F40 is kind of boring, so why not throw in a Michelotto GTE F40? That was wild to see. I had never seen something like this. And then next to it, you also had other icons like the McLaren F1 prototype XP4, which was wild. But that's not crazy enough, so they went ahead and compared it against the McLaren F1 from Le Mans. That obviously didn't need a voiceover. Here you have the jet car in action, and at this point all the cars were rolling up to the stage to get their trophies. So very obviously that is an EB110 race car. As we can hear, that definitely doesn't sound like it's running right, but it did sound absolutely insane. Here we have the Low-Tech coming by as well.
Really brought your Bugatti back into the Monterey. Really heralded later the Chiron.
And in typical Carweek fashion, the best way to describe yourself after such an intense week is fried. And that's why we went ahead and chilled at the Gran Turismo suite, as seen here. So, thanks for the support, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.